I have given thought to the reason I write for a very, very long time. Without stories, the world wouldn't be where it is. And to my mind, we are where we are because we have not read those truthful lives. By the way, this is why a lot of writers are sent into exile. It teaches you about even the culture of, if it is from your place, your own culture, the aspects you do not know, it will teach you about other people's cultures. If you are reading a novel that is not set in your own place, it will teach you, and even religion, it will teach you about people. There's so many things that the story will open your mind to, right? Because we have not accepted the truth that they tell. Why did I write the book, Why I Tell Lies for a Living? Hello and welcome to Dul Johnson's Creative Talks. Why did I write the book, Why I Tell Lies for a Living? It is because stories are truth. Fiction is not as fictional as we think it is. If you are joining this channel for the first time, let me give you a very special welcome. In this episode, I am going to discuss the short book called or entitled Why I Tell Lies for a Living. It is a lecture I delivered and published as a small book, but it has become quite popular, and lots and lots of people are reading it and commenting. And so I thought it would be a good idea actually to explore why I went into writing the book. So, but if you have any issues, any questions, any comments, please do not forget to put them in the box below, and I will accordingly respond. Why I tell lies for a living, even though it is about story writing, about fiction writing, and it pays attention to many writers, even though my attention is paid particularly to Nigerian and African writers, it touches writers across the world as well. But basically, I had to write this essay because I have given thought to the reason I write for a very, very long time. And I have become an ardent believer in the value of stories. And in this case, I'm talking about all fictional stories, whether they are stories told to small children or stories written in books in any form at all. I have come to believe, and very strongly so, that without stories, the world wouldn't be where it is. And so, when stories are read or neglected, and the value of stories, the values that the writers intend to give the society, the world, almost literally free of charge, and these are not utilized, we either draw the world back, draw our communities back, draw our countries back, or we even destroy it. I've come to realize that nations cannot develop without reading books, especially fictional books. By the way, even scientific books are stories. There is no book studied in any school that is not a story. Even mathematics is related through stories. So stories are very, very important. But because many of us who are not engaged in writing or reading, and particularly my concern is with the leadership of African countries, because we do not pay attention, we do not give any regard to fictional stories because we think they are nothing but lies. We are losing, we are missing greatly. And to my mind, we are where we are because we have not read those truthful lies. So I took the time to try to educate every reader as well as those who are not reading. In other words, my hope is that you as a reader, when you read this pamphlet, please go to share with anybody and everybody that you care to talk to. And if you can go to the president of your country and let them know that these things called fiction, the dramas, the plays, the poems, the novels, the short stories that are everywhere on the streets, that are read in the schools, that people don't pay attention to what the writers are saying, that they should pay attention to them because there is a purpose. What is the purpose for writing? Personally, and this is, I'm not the first person to start writing, so I wouldn't think that it is because I believe in the value they give. I learned also from other writers that there is a huge value in the stories that are presented to us as lies. Now, you see, writers observe society. We say in literature that literature is a reflection of the society. Now, there are very, very few writers, if there are any, that will look at the beautiful things that are happening in society and begin to write about. If anybody does that, it's because he probably just wants you to have fun. But most writers are concerned with the education of the public. So, if you see a writer write about something beautiful, and he's a real writer, there is a slant in the story, or in the poem, or in the drama that is pointing you to the good, that is saying, you see how beautiful this thing is? It is people that made it so. Therefore, let us try to make this other place like that, this other place, and so on and so forth. In other words, writers are actually critics. But that they are critics does not mean the word criticism as in negative-minded people. No. They are critics who are x-raying what they have seen, analyzing what they have seen first in their brains, and then representing it in a way that you can look at it and probably feel ashamed of it. Oh, is it we that are doing this? You know, or things that you can see And you can laugh at yourself and say, no, but this is terrible. We shouldn't really be doing this. This is precisely what most writers do. So they take a slice of the society, okay? By the way, this is why a lot of writers are sent into exile. This is why a lot of writers are killed, or many writers are killed, or many writers are jailed, because we have not accepted the truth that they tell. And we think that they want to destroy us as persons. Now I see that as the kind of ambition that I discuss in the dramatic literature, with people like Macbeth. Because when somebody points out where you have gone wrong, I think the whole idea is to help you correct where you have gone wrong. And when you are a leader, and when I talk about leaders in this case, I'm talking about at every level. Is it family level? Is it street level? Is it a local government level? Is it town level? Is it state level? Is it national level? Is it continental level? Wherever you find yourself in leadership, and whether in leadership or not, stories are not actually, there are some that are aimed at leadership, there are some that are aimed at everybody else, and there are stories that are aimed at everybody in the society. So the leader is touched, the followers are touched, and everybody is touched. So the idea is for all of us to read these stories and to learn from our mistakes. So the writer, for example, let's say we conducted elections and at the end of the day it's full of rigging, and of course maybe there are fights, maybe people are killed, okay? You don't expect a reader to tell the society, congratulations, we have finished the elections, and with all the rigging, thank you, well done, let's carry on. No. If you continue to do that, of course, you are destroying the society, because ultimately there is no peace. Okay, people are feeling, disgruntled, and they are not even ready to cooperate with the immediate leadership, and so on and so forth. If people that I respect in the village, and I expect that after the election, they will, the election that we stood all there together and cast votes and we counted, and they see the votes, of course they should be defending us as a village. If they don't, naturally, I will not want to do anything with them again. So, if such a person reads this story, he should be able to say, or they should be able to say, well, this is our story. I think we should do better next time, because what I have seen now, if it happens again, there will be, disregard for electoral processes. People will just think it is a waste of time. And how is that going to help the society? Now, if you are, let's say, a senator, for example, we expect that you will take what you have read and the reaction from the villagers in the story to share with your colleagues in the Senate. Hey, gentlemen, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I think, you don't have to announce it as something to be discussed, but you can share with your colleagues, because the storyteller is giving what we call education. And education is the source of development, right? If there is no education, whether it is native education or modern education, stories are the ones you use to spread them. Stories are the ones you use to inculcate them. So, if we disregard stories, that means we are killing education. I've said it in one of the previous videos before. How do we get our children, to learn our cultures, to learn the tradition, to learn how to become reasonable human beings? It is through the stories we tell them. And if that works, why do we think that the stories we publish, we read, we teach in schools, why do we think they cannot educate people? I've talked about the level of education that one book can take you to. And it is at every level of it. In other words, to start with, it tells you who you are. It teaches you about even the culture of, if it is from your place, your own culture, the aspects you do not know, it will teach you. It will also teach you about other people's cultures. If you are reading a novel that is not set in your own place, it will teach you other people's cultures. It will teach you, and even religion. It will teach you about people. There's so many things that the novel will open, that the story will open your mind to, right? Now that is education. Okay? So if we do not think that this is something important, if we think they are mere lies, we are missing the point. So the idea in sharing from this lecture, from this pamphlet, from this essay, is to get you prepared, because when I get to talk about my own writings, of course, I'm going to go into certain details of the things that I have said in those books. And my idea was not to castigate anybody, not to insult anybody, but to bear my mind and to also bear your mind to the things that have happened around you that you have not paid attention to. And even when I have written and other people have written. You see, subjects that I write about, I'm not the only person writing about them. Many people would have written about them, and many more people are going to write about them. So the more we read, the more education we get. And the more education we get, the more our society will move forward. But if we refuse to read stories and call them lies, I've explained to you in this small book that these lies are truthful lies. And that is why I have decided to tell those truthful lies for a living. One of the things I have done, I'm still doing for a living, is the books I have written. In the worst moments, they bring me little income that I can survive on, right? And perhaps even when I stop work completely, I might be able to turn my attention fully to those books and make an income from them. So they are not mere lies, my dear viewer. And if you are thinking that what I have said is not true, I want you to challenge me even on the channel. Please put your comment in the box below or raise your questions, and I will definitely engage you in a more fruitful conversation. Thank you for watching this video, and please do not forget to share. Of course, subscribe and share as widely as possible. I thank you.